Okay, so it's a mind training course, which is the reason why we started it, because in the borough there is nothing at all for older people, and this level that we're at, so I pitched it at level 4. So level 4 is higher thinking, level 2 is sort of like lower thinking. So I'm respecting that you're all intelligent people. So I've pitched it at sort of a level 4, that you can think for yourself and that you can look at critical thinking. What do you feel you've got from the course in the last few weeks?
Well, first of all, I've had a lot, and the basic thing is, you know, the interaction is really, really good. I can put my questions across and it's been heard of. Likewise, I learn from others, because sometimes when you see things, you see it on your perspective, but when others, then, you know, it's thought-provoking. Oh, I've never seen it that way. So you derive from others what you never have in yourself, and that's really, really good.
Okay, so you said the interaction was good. What was it meant by that? When you said that the interaction was good, what did you mean by that?
We all have a share. So it's not only just one person, it's all of us, it's like a group. So for example, if you ask a question, you know, I may see it different from the way Anne sees it, and then everybody comment is taken on, so you can learn from what this person says in their comment, different from what you have in mind.
Okay, so how do you think it's improved your thinking,
Well,
or your memory?
Yes, it has improved it, because there was a time when you give us guidelines in how to do things and the way that we can do in order to help our thinking and our memory, you know. I suffer with a memory loss, to be honest, and then I really, it helps me because there are guidelines, not only just what you said, but you even shows us clipped in, you know, helping us, and that's really good. I take it on board.
Strategies and techniques to improve your memory.
Yeah.
What about looking at philosophy and things like that? Does it help to improve your memory?
Yeah, it does, because I've done a lot of reading as well, you know, and when you read and it's just you, then it's just you, you know, but when you come here and you can get others, you know, to interact with them, it's good, as you have just said. It's not just watching the television, even sometimes the radio is even better. So it widens your thinking, and it widens, you know, how you really see things, really. So yeah, it's so good.
Okay, thanks. Sharon, yourself then, because it's a memory training course, do you think it's improved your memory?
Yes, because I had begun to just do very shallow thinking, and with the course I've taken on reflective thinking, and I've actually looked at things. I think as we get older we tend to just take things as they are without questioning and without actually looking at them in detail, and the course has given me the impetus to look at things in more depth, look at the way I see things and the way I approach things in much more depth, and in turn I do believe that that is helping to improve my memory, rather than the sloppy thinking, oh yeah, I'll do this. I'm actually taking things on board.
Right. What's the thing that struck you the most? What's been the highlight for you?
I think two things possibly. The group as a whole, when I came into it, and I came in I think halfway through the course, I thought I was probably quite negative. I didn't expect a great deal. But over the past weeks that I've been here, this has become an integrated group. We treat each other with respect. We listen to each other. And I think we've got to the stage where we can actually meet outside just as a social thing, which obviously is really good. And the other thing is, my attitude to philosophy has probably changed. Philosophy, as you probably know, is something that is looked on by a great number of people as being outside life. Academic rather than, and actually it isn't, and the course has opened my mind up to that, and I have actually started reading, taking books from the library and just delving into them and getting ideas. And instead of sitting at home on the computer or whatever, I am actually reading and then stopping and thinking about the bits that I'm reading and comparing one with the other in that. So my greatest fear, which I think would probably go around the table, is developing dementia as we get older. And I'm hoping that what we've done in here and what I've got from it is going to help to prevent that, at least delay it if it can be prevented. And I think that this sort of course is absolutely essential for older people embarking. We really, really need this, because it's just a few people sitting around the table talking about anything and everything. We're actually discussing very important fundamental principles as we're sitting here, and we really need the group. We need it to continue.
Great, thank you very much. What's been your major learning, insight or discovery on this course?
Well, coming back with preconceived ideas, what I call my comfort zone, it was a shaking out of the comfort zone to listen to what others have said, particularly you and others, and stimulated me to sort of think outside the box, if you like. I never realised that was possible in your life. I can put it simply, it's made me think more deeply and try to internalise and regurgitate what's been said, again, from my comfort zone, because in my little box I'm quite happy, but it needs to be shaken out, because sometimes I had preconceived notions which I think has proved to be rather biased and can be, by discussing to others what they've said, I think, yes, I was wrong.
Okay, do you think this improves your memory?
I hope so, because I'll take copious notes, but unfortunately my memory is a problem with me, and hopefully it will, because one can think back to sort of key little quotes that have been made. You think, I was surprised really to learn that the meaning of life, there is no real meaning apart from what you make of it, but sorry, back to my notes. Mind trained higher thinking, but I can't teach anybody anything, I can only make them think. Socrates, which I think is a concept which is worth carrying on.
So the teacher is inside of you, rather than looking for the teacher for the answers. Look for the answers inside yourself.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you. Great stuff. Definitely. Do you think, what has this course done for you, and do you think it has achieved your memory?
Well, I've only come in the last 4 weeks, but a lot has been, I agree with a lot has already been said. It's like repeating. It's nice to come to these discussion groups and listen to their views, and you've gleaned more information, and it helped me think more. I'm not one for a lot of discussions, and I find some words I can't explain myself very well. This is a fault that comes when you don't go out, you have nobody to discuss things with. But coming here, it's nice to, how can I say, to listen. And sometimes you voice your opinion, but many a time you take it within, and your mind's always working. And it's been a lovely 4 weeks, and I think let's hope that we can continue, because I'm sure there's more things. Well, there's thousands of things we can discuss, and we've got to the stage that we can sit and chat without having heated arguments. It's just nice to voice your opinion on whatever subject that Lawrence brings up. If I've explained myself well, I don't know how else to explain, but it's very comforting to know that there are other people out there listening and got their points to put forward. As I say, I don't know whether I've put myself forward, I've explained myself, but it's very comforting to come here with a discussion group.
So if I tell you back what I heard you say, then you'll know whether you put yourself across well. Mm-hmm. So if I say what I heard you say was, put it in my own words, when you're on your own, you've got your own thoughts. That can be dangerous. Definitely. And you can just, as Jim was saying, you just think, oh, I'm right. But when you come to a discussion group like this, well, there's no competition. We're trying to work in cooperation. Everyone's got their own views. Yes. I want to say they're the right ones, but we listen, or you listen. I listen a lot. You express yourself too. Yeah. And then you found the atmosphere conducive to feeling that it's the right conditions. Is that what?
That's correct. And I have mentioned it's old cliche. You know, it's not set in stone. It can. You've got this passage that that's what you think, that's what you know, and then all of a sudden you hear other words, and the passage is getting wider. The goalposts are being moved out because there's more stuff to come in. You know, you've only got this box, but when the box, you know, the sides have been chewed away because these people are trying to get in, all of a sudden there's much more. You know, there's much more knowledge. Yeah.
Okay, great stuff. No, you've expressed yourself really well, Daphne.
Thank you.
Let's just check with others. Do you think Daphne's expressed herself?
Yes.
Thank you.
Yes. So there you are. If you're worried that you wasn't, then
thank you.
I told you back exactly what you said, and other people.
You get lost for words.
Welcome to the club.
Well done.
What about yourself now, Joyce?
What about me? Well, normally I've found with my friends that if ever I approach any deep subjects, they just don't want to know. So in the end, you don't bother to think about them. And I think it's very important that you do mix in a group and exchange all your ideas. And you can, you can sort of do it without feeling that somebody's going to jump on you and criticise you for being stupid, for expressing something that you believe. And I appreciate that very much, to be able to do it, because I feel that my education was cut short as a child. And I started work at 14 and wanted to stay on at school, then I couldn't. And this is sort of another opportunity for me.
Yes, and it takes a lot of courage to come out of your comfort zone and then hope that that's not going to happen here.
Yeah, I mean, my life's a bit frivolous, as I've said before. I like sort of dancing and music, and that's been the main part of my adult life, I would say.
So the intellectual
apart
side
from my UNAM interests.
Yes, but you felt that the intellectual side.
Yeah,
you sort of left
so that which I had to leave behind when I got married. Yeah. And
friends and that.
They're not interested.
And if you go deeper, they won't.
Just in what's in fashion and.
Or they'll criticise you. If you
now being horrible about my friends.
No,
yes.
Right.
No, you get hurt, and I think we're very much alike. We don't. All right, you can take criticism, but sometimes it's hurtful, and you get upset within. And that's the one thing.
To say
you don't want to say anymore.
No.
And that's it.
No, it closes you down.
That's it.
Yeah.
And you just.
Yeah. So that's what we was
it's
after
hurtful.
here, to open people
Very
up.
hurtful.
And
it's not true.
Rather than close them down.
But that's why it's important that it's a group of people of similar age.
Yeah.
Because we have, although different backgrounds, we have similar histories in a way, and we have learned to treat each other with respect and to listen to others. And we are all here for the same reason. First of all, to broaden our horizons, and secondly, to meet within a group and hopefully discuss things that will help our memories and keep our memory intact.
Yes, alert. Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, thanks, Joyce. Carol.
Because I've been caring for my mother, I've felt a lot isolated, and so coming here, I regret having not been to the full 12 weeks. So that enjoys coming, and it's a safe environment. And I am a shy, not very outspoken person, but I've learned a lot through listening to Lawrence and to everyone else. And it's given me things to think about and reflect over at home.
What do you think you've learnt about yourself in coming here?
I do something to look outside the box, not just have one view, but I didn't learn about all these different philosophers. I didn't have any ideas of all these different thoughts and other people.
So in that caring role, it's quite time consuming, and there may be an opportunity now for you to expand yourself in other areas.
Yes.
To look after your needs as well as others. Because
Yes.
we know as carers we can spend a lot of time thinking about others, but you've got your own needs too.
Yes.
And as a carer, I know you can be in that saintly position. But put yourself in the picture.
And then you get a bit afraid to venture out.
That's it, yeah. So
Don't you feel proud of the way you have actually brought yourself out and come to the meetings, even though you're shy and moving out of your comfort zone? You should be very proud of that.
Yeah.
Okay, Eric, so what's been your major learning, insight or discovery on this course?
To try and work with more other people in the way of, we turn around and admit that I am aggressive a little bit at meetings, and I realise it's not doing me any good. I'm not learning too much for that. By listening to other people, I am managing to pick up a few more good points that I need, and because I would actually like to give talks, but I am though a loud person. We just had someone here say they were quiet and a little bit timid, but I'm probably the opposite. But then it stops me from learning being that way. I shouldn't be that much. I'm learning here.
So you're seeing things differently, and you have goals that you want to pursue, and you're learning how to put yourself across to a group.
More distinctly, I've got a job with that word, more clearly, because I've had feedback from this group sometimes, so I'm not as clear as I could be.
Yes.
Punctuation.
And you've seen that's a caring side to
If
that,
you need,
rather than a criticism.
though I care for other people, and that's what I say, in fact I'm all for helping the underdog, because my own experience, like a lot of people here. But sometimes that doesn't work as regards to getting your point of view to other people, if you're allowed. We talked a little bit about interviews here early on. The person you give the impression to when you go for an interview might not be what you're really like, but they just think, oh, he's a loudmouth, so boom, won't give him the job, where you're probably not, you're probably caring. So I realise that people and other members of this group, they might be a bit loud, but I realise they care as much for other people and has done as much.
Yeah, and that's what I say is you feel be thoughtful and skillful about what you say and the impact that it has upon others.
Yes, and also this is where they want you to belong to neighbourhood things and help the community. With groups like this, it gives you more ability to be able to do that properly. In other words, you don't just go into a group and start shouting at the council and going, you silly old so-and-so, you know what you're doing. You've got to weigh up what you're going to say, when to say. So in other words, that's what the community benefits out of me coming along to a group like this.
And do you think it's improved your memory?
Memory's not too bad anyway.
Okay.
It's just that I would look more stuff up these days with computers, but
Alright, great stuff, thanks Eric. So I'm going to summarise really what we've done. In looking at the memory training, I've tried to include philosophy, history. Do you remember we did the one on pessimism? Looking at things from different angles. So I've tried to challenge your ingrained habits and unexamined assumptions. Lovely word. Most of our assumptions are unexamined. Someone asks you a question, there's an assumption behind it. A lot of the time there's an assumption. The person asking the question already knows the answer. They just want you to reinforce what they think. So it's your unexamined assumptions about things. We've used problemisation. Do you remember what that was? A guy called Paulo Freire. It's challenging accepted wisdoms. So the Queen is wonderful. Everyone loves the Queen. Well, not everyone. Some people are Republicans. They say they don't like the Queen, but it's a matter of principle. Is it democratic? You know, and all that other stuff. So we're looking at accepted wisdoms. They say, well, who are they? And where's the evidence that they say this is correct? So that's what problemisation was. If you look up on the internet, it's accepted wisdoms that we never challenge. We never say, well, what does this actually mean? Like love, you know.
Yeah.
As we discussed earlier, well, what does this mean? This word love. Are we being fed this romantic version from Hollywood? What is real love? Or are we just all being duped and manipulated into thinking that this is you're the
It's
one
all
for
just
me?
sexual attraction.
Yes, you're my soulmate. So you look at the bigger picture when you're philosophizing. And there's a more sophisticated understanding of subjects. So once again with love, there's different types of love. Love of God, love of your children, love of a partner, romantic love, love of books, love of art, you know, and you've got to decide what all these different, define and decide what all these different loves mean. And you're more of a free thinker. You become more open-minded and you don't become so narrow and rigid in your views. Your mind is more open. And I was reading something the other day which says, it's a shame that a closed mind doesn't come with a closed mouth.
That's really good.
Because most people will tell you loads of things, won't they?
Whatever you've got, Eric, it's not a closed mind.
So, you're a free thinker, and you think what you want to think, that's up to you. As long as you've examined your beliefs, and you've come to an understanding of, this is where I'm at this moment. But it could all change.
So
someone could tell you something.
you're saying that they should be our beliefs. We should examine them in such a way that we get our own understanding of the subject, not somebody else's understanding of it.
What you believe in doesn't matter. It's how you've arrived at those beliefs. Yeah? And if someone asks you, what are you that? And you can put a good defence up. You can give me evidence of why I believe this. Not just I believed that and I saw something and that confirmed it and I've never questioned it. I've always just gone along with it. That's the danger. And so the last thing is, philosophy, you're thinking with care and patience. You're not reacting, you're responding. You're understanding many sides of an issue. And you encourage well thought out conclusions with yourself, or you get others to think out their own conclusions. So Socrates and we did this Socratic questioning. Socrates would ask loads and loads of questions of that person, not because he wanted to put them down, not because he wanted to make them look a fool, but he wanted them to think for themselves how they had arrived at their beliefs. Where did they get the evidence from? And were they rational in their thinking about those beliefs? And the problem with the human race, of course, is we try and be rational. Most of the time we're irrational. But that doesn't matter. We have a lifelong quest to try to stimulate our minds and try to become rational. So just before we close, I'd like to say I've been very... I often say this as a counsellor too. Very... What's the word I'm looking for?
Impressed?
Not impressed, no. Very enthused is one thing, but this proves that older people later life, they've still got that desire for learning. I'm enthused with that. I've got the evidence now. I run this course in a way that wanted to prove that. That's my hidden agenda for the people that want that education in this borough to see that this is needed. It's been an honour, the word I want to use.
Oh, that's kind.
An honour to be with you for the 12 weeks that we run this course and to get to know you better and to hear your thinking, and it's been an honour and a pleasure too. And I often say that as a counsellor to a client, where people bear in their souls and they're talking about themselves maybe in ways that they've never done before with other human beings. And
It's a nice atmosphere though.
the main thing is what you said, creating the right conditions. And as human beings, we have the power to create the conditions for this to happen with cooperation, as we discussed last week. So for me, I've been enthused, yes. And wherever I go next, or I'll come back, I don't know yet. I'll take this with me. It's part of my lifelong learning. I've learned many things from you, as you learned from me too. And a great desire, for whatever age you are, to want to learn and to be curious and improve yourself. And you've done really well. You've overcome some big barriers that have been put there.
As a ratepayer in this borough and others for many years now, being dyslexic, I've never really used the library. Something like this gets me to be able to have some of the facilities that I have paid for years. It's all very well to say there's cutback for old people. I was too busy earning money as a carpenter, which helped me pay them rates, which I'm still paying. And this lovely place with a nice yellow floor that is bright. I just hope that some of the people that see this film are as bright. That's all I've got to say.